Caroline Buckingham, a lead member, focused on the creative remodelling of learning environments within current budgetary constraints.
Well, first of all, thanks Terry and Neil for what you're trying to do with UK Learning, because when they first spoke to me about it, and I think I'm quite pragmatic, and I've gone around for the last 2 years, we've all had our heads down, we've been trying to win the work, get on with the work, and we're saying, actually, do you know what? I don't want to sit in any more conferences about standardisation, or how we can't talk about transformation, or all these things we learned about during BSF, which is now dirty word. But the fact is, there's loads of us here who got loads of expertise, loads of really good experience, and actually what we need to do is use that and bring the profession back up and lead from the front. So that's why, thank you for what you're doing, because I really believe we can get that power behind us and sort of move forward. We do have a voice, and thanks, Nigel, in the RIBA supporting it. To me, and to the hope of the other architects, is extremely important for our profession. From everything that Terry's sort of been through there, actually collaboration, creativity and communication, listening to your client, I mean, is what's really important. I suppose my slide is beautiful primary school in London. Wants to demonstrate that actually maybe it's quite hard to do things in a really large, massive way. We're not going to build £30 million, £20 million, £5 million schools anymore. What can we do that makes the most impact in a little way to really sort of bring those aspects and communication with what we've got to offer as a load of design professionals? How can we improve that quality of space? So, I don't know how many I can get through, but stick with me, because what I've just done is taken any examples of projects we've done and tried to get the before and after. So in a small way, you can transform any space. And it's not about big bucks, it's about a bit of creativity, talking about what they really need, and producing something. Every image I show, I'm sure you've come across numerous projects that are very similar, same problems. How do you, with a very small budget, tight time to go, what can you do? Most schools you walk into, a bit of display, a bit of storage, boxes. How do you just use something to break that up, bring in life? The environment and where you work is really important. So it doesn't matter if you're in a teaching space, an office space, an admin space, it's all a really important space to, how do I prove that? I don't know. Would you rather be in this room here, we've used the rooftop, or do you want to be in your closed box and the lecture theatre on the ground? No, I know where I prefer to be. Entrances, that first impression when you walk into your school and what it means. Okay, maybe I choose my school because the head teacher and the quality of teaching in there. But the whole environment when you walk in probably reflects that person. So how do you make that slightly more uplifting? Circulation, you mentioned stairs, I won't mention more stairs. Again, I think that whole idea of having spaces and controlled collisions, we used to call it. So you bring people together and you have that conversation, you have that little chat. So you don't feel forced into a corner with somebody, you can just see somebody and pass by. How do you make those interesting, a bit more refreshing spaces? All the examples I said are refurbished buildings, because I think, to be honest, that's where we are. Every project we do, we might add a bit of new build, but actually a lot of it is about whether it's an office building or an old school building, university building. What we're trying to do is use our imagination, creativity and work with the stakeholders, with the teachers, the students, and how do we turn those spaces into something a little bit more simple, colour, furniture, light, learning environment. That's, people, you want to be associated with the exciting stuff. Again, entrances, receptions. Just again, this is actually in the university building. Actually, it's my old school of architecture. So that's us like students, the mess and the stress. We were brought in to say, how can we, light it up and bright up? It's a listed 60s building actually. So again, with a little bit of inspiration, not huge budgets. You can just, you can think about how you use the space, how you build in the storage, how you use that circulation. All of us, we just wanted to hang around in central space and throw things down with the students and stuff. Again, how buildings evolve, how the circulation works. Obviously, the outdoor, inside. How many times in our schools have you undercover? We're not quite all the time. So how do you get around, how do you circulate, how do we make those spaces more interesting? So again, if you've just got one little project in your school, or in your learning environment, in your university, wherever you are, you can sort of do some very small things just to make it a little bit more of an exciting space. Yeah, it could be in that lecture theatre. You could just use lighting, sound, acoustics to make it slightly more open. Isn't it interesting how even in your own homes, how you don't often move your furniture around. You kind of get used to sitting there with your sofas in the same place. And it might take some of your mates to come around and go, well, you know, have you ever thought about sort of reorganising and shoving this around? And you get rid of that, and it changes the whole, suddenly your whole style of living. And as Terry said, a lot of us now, you do that family, watching telly, kids doing homework, you're in the kitchen cooking. It's very much more open plan. So why wouldn't our learning spaces be the same? And just the last one to demonstrate. All of us in, I'm sure, are in environments, in the places we work. This is the floor we took in for one of our offices. As you go there, and that's where you suddenly, as professionals, maybe we underestimate the qualities and the creativity we have. So we naturally, because it was our own office, you go into that building and you think about what can you do. So you get together and you produce that environment. And I'm saying we've all got the power, we've got the vision, we just need to somehow work together with the professionals that we're trying to bring together and say we can, and we do anyway, just make those into exciting, interesting spaces. So thank you. I'm going to hand back to Terry.